let's get it going. I kind of have been working on a structure for these things, so I think we should start with an episode kind of synopsis. Okay. Does anyone want to take a crack at just kind of briefly saying everything that happened this episode before we get into our favorite scenes and details?
Like in order? I feel more confident if you do it, because I might go all over the place.
I was hoping somebody else would do it, because I'm kind of a jumble right now, because I've been watching seasons 1 and 2 at the same time.
All right, 3, 2, 1, Lucas, you go.
I kill.
Go, Lucas.
Nose goes.
Oh, God.
Just say what each character did.
Oh. Let's choose a character. Okay, so with the Men in Black, we finally get back to him, which is amazing. He is having hallucinations. We still don't know if he's real or not.
No questions yet. Just say what happened.
Okay. Charlotte Hale comes into the picture, and then he's sent to a mental institution. We find out that all the pearls are Dolores's, or copies of Delores. And I think that was like the biggest takeaway for me.
He finds the center of the maze.
And Maeve goes after Delores, and Musashi comes back, but it's not really Musashi. It's Delores in Musashi's body.
Well, yeah.
But we see that she's like a badass assassin now, and she can use her powers in the real world.
She's like she's fucking Neo in the Matrix.
The show cheated.
What?
Cop out, actually.
The show cheated. 5 copies of Delores, really?
That's
No. I am so happy that it's just Delores.
Really?
I'm so happy it's just Delores. Do you realize how confusing it would be?
Yeah, I agree.
If everyone did a body switch and you were like, fuck, I can't remember who's who. The fact that they did this was like, oh, thank you so fucking much, Westworld.
And guys, I've been
so easy on everybody.
I've been rewatching. I'll be honest. They set a precedent last season.
Okay.
Last season they had the Cradle. The Cradle was where they backed up all of the mines with duplicate pearls.
Okay.
So they already showed that you can duplicate each host.
Now the question is, though, because every single version of Delores has their own experiences now, how is that going to diverge?
Yeah.
Because so yesterday after the show, Jazz and I had a little discussion, argument. Now I'm going to bring you guys in.
Yeah.
Is Delores at this point a villain or a hero?
Which Delores? Because now, like you said, now there's 5 different Doloreses. It's not a hive mind.
The
Each
main
one,
Delores,
I think, is going to become their own person. I think she's a hero.
That's what I said.
But I think it took a while to kind of get there, because now it's like her mission is she sees that there's regular humans are kind of oppressed the same way that the hosts were oppressed, and so her plan is to kind of free everybody. But I think for a while she thought all humans were like the dickheads that went to Westworld, and that's why she was going to kill them all.
And
let Lucas say.
Go ahead, Lucas.
I think the fact that they have 5 Doloreses now shows her spectrum. Musashi Delores being like ultimate villain version, and then regular Delores being the one that's learning to be more sympathetic with humans.
Oh, I thought Charlotte Hale Delores is the ultimate villain.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe.
You're right. Oh no, there's 5 Doloreses. There's a Delores that was in Charlotte Hale's body. Then there was 4 pearls that she put into bodies, and then the 5th pearl is Bernard. So in total, 6 pearls left Westworld.
There's Connell, Musashi, Charlotte Hale, Delores herself, and Bernard.
But there's one more pearl that we haven't seen yet. There's one more person.
No, there isn't.
Because you got to think there was a pearl inside of the Charlotte Hale body. She took 5 pearls when she was in the Charlotte Hale body. So grand total is 6 pearls.
Oh, is that the pearl that they were trying to get Liam Dempsey for? Or is getting Liam Dempsey, like, just an act?
I think that was just an act to draw up Bernard.
Ah.
But yeah, I was thinking a lot about that, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's definitely 5 Doloreses.
I see. I think, I agree with Nick. Him and I were going over it last night.
I'm way more confused. I was kind of pissed because in my rewatch I was keeping track of all the characters that could be a pearl, and I had like a half a page of a list, and then yesterday I just threw the whole thing away.
It's all.
But that's okay. But
I feel like she's still a villain. I feel like she's a villain and Maeve is still the hero.
I still think that Maeve is a hero. I think she's being subverted to do villainous things. I think Serac is the villain.
I think so too.
Well, another thing is...
Oh, and I know how to spell Serac now. I looked it up on IMDb.
S-E-R-A-C?
Yeah.
Yes. Chat kept misspelling it yesterday, or last week.
Oh, like C-I-R-O-K? Just kidding. Not
Who spells it that way?
I don't know. It's an alcohol, isn't it?
Man in Black. I am very confused about William. It was revealed that he was a host at the end of season 2, right? I'm not there yet in my rewatch.
Was he though? Was he really?
What does that do us?
I don't
Because
think
then is Dolores hacking him? Is that why he can see his daughter?
No, but was he a host in season 2?
How does Dolores see his daughter? His daughter's dead. He has to be a host.
Well, I don't think Dolores saw the daughter. I think Dolores just overheard.
Yeah,
him
and she was
talking to
listening
his
in on the
daughter.
conversation when he was doing a little woohoo.
I'm on episode 7 of season 2. I will know this for certain soon, but I'm pretty sure we ended season 2 finding out that the Man in Black was a robot.
No,
There was like heavy evidence of it.
Mary
did
Poppins
like
right. We never found out.
Yeah, we never.
Because he
found
kept
out.
almost cutting his arm open. He kept.
Chat says
almost
we never
doing
found out.
I thought it cut to like a scene in the future where someone was trying to do like a test on him. Like, what do you call it?
Mental test.
Something like that. Like a
Fidelity.
Yeah, fidelity test.
This is why it's great to rewatch because I know all the terms again.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't think we ever found out. They left it vague enough where it's like, okay, we'll let the audience think that he is a host, but we're not going to give a definite answer there.
I mean, I guess that fits with the end of this episode where he doesn't know. And if it's like if the audience knew, it wouldn't make sense for him not to know.
I mean, and part of me is thinking is like, okay, even if he was a host, why should Dolores go through all this? What is it called? All
just
this
to torture him?
Yeah, just to torture him. Like, there's no point. If he's already a host, Dolores already won, and she knows that. That's just wasting her time.
Or
What's her game with Bernard?
I think it was like what Bernard had said before. Like, she brought him back to make sure that he puts her in check.
Because that's then the only host that she saved was Bernard.
Basically.
Well, what about her dad?
I'm still on season 2. I don't remember what happened to her dad, but I'm almost there. Got 3 episodes left.
I think her dad is downloaded, like, all the hash keys are all downloaded into Dolores' mind.
Oh.
That's why she's the key, right?
Yeah, I believe that she downloaded all that information into her own mind. Which is the reason why they went into that main room with all the other pearls in the last season, and when she like murdered everyone inside that like control room.
The cradle.
Yeah. So I think Dolores has the information in her mind. Now the question is the information in all the Dolores, all 5 Doloreses, or
I don't think so.
Ooh, I like Dolores Prime. Let's go with that.
Or is she only in Dolores Prime?
I would say Dolores Prime.
Now, another thing about the Dolores situation and how it's going to come about, it'll be interesting to see because of the conversation Jazz and I were having yesterday is Dolores doesn't like being in control. Yet, in this episode or the last episode, we saw Dolores saying to the other Dolores, to Charlotte, or what did they call it? Harlot?
Dolores.
I was like, I own you. I control you.
You're mine.
You're mine.
Oh, you're saying she doesn't like being controlled.
Yeah, Dolores herself doesn't like being controlled, yet Dolores Prime said, I control you, I own you, to Charlotte, which is Dolores.
Like, don't hurt yourself, you're mine.
So, at this point, it's like, okay, how does this really fall into place due to the fact that Dolores doesn't like being controlled, yet she's still being controlled by Dolores Prime?
That's why I think they're all gonna. It's important. I think this season there's a big the philosophical element of this season is gonna be, if you duplicate your mind, are you still the same person when you have different experiences? Because I always find some crazy philosophy to explore, and I think that's what they're gonna do. There'll be 5 different Doloreses, and yeah, they're all gonna fight with each other. Dolores Prime is gonna have to kill her creations.
Yeah.
Hey, she wanted to be a god. What was the phrase at the end of last season that she said? It was like, whenever the dinosaurs turn into sand, humans will follow suit, and when everything is said and done, a new god will rise. I mean,
Well,
paraphrasing there,
what's
but
what's interesting to me is if you think about it, it's almost like she's a schizophrenic now.
yeah. I mean, isn't she? The question is Wyatt still around?
Well, what if one of them is Wyatt? Well,
Possibly.
I guess she kind of merged herself with Wyatt, but
Oh, so I don't know if we want to bring this up now, but Carla was doing some digging, and he's found like an article suggesting that Serac could be.
Oh, Ford. No. Well, some people were speculating that Serac is Ford's brother. Yet, the more digging I did, they kind of mentioned Ford's brother's name is Tommy.
oh, by the way, what the fuck happened where they nuked Paris?
Oh yeah. No one knows. No one knows right now.
Coronavirus. Just kidding.
I was just like, oh, that came out of nowhere. Just here's this grand, amazing future, kind of. But except Paris is just gone.
Yeah, just
Nuked.
fuck Paris.
That's
Just fuck
awesome.
Paris.
It's like
Lucas,
they
you're
never really
quiet there.
talked about Lucas.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
No, you guys are nailing it.
Paracetamol is asking whether the 5 different Doloreses and their actions are the divergence that the AT&T ball is monitoring.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely,
probably.
100%. That's like when when
'Cause
Serac
divergence
brought
is-
Maeve, when Serac brought Maeve into that house in Singapore, he was like, "This is where one of the divergence was," and it flashes back to when Dolores is making her clones or whatever—not clones, but the people. Rehoboam.
Why wouldn't Dolores like recruit Maeve into her circle? Like just like rip open her head, take her pearl, and then go make a body for her. If Maeve has all these powers.
I think she has too much of her own, like her own incentive. Maeve was so set on trying to get back to her daughter, which is why.
But it's like Dolores is the perfect way to like, hey, I can help you get back to your daughter. Just help me take down this guy. What does Maeve care?
That's why I feel like Dolores is kind of like a hero. She knows that it's all fake, anyways. She's like, I think there's like a respect that she has for Maeve, and she's just kind of like, you know what?
Before she killed her?
Because she was in her way. She was obviously working for the bad guys, so she had to eliminate her for now.
I don't know. She also said some fucked up things to Maeve in the Musashi disguise. She accused her of leaving them all behind to die.
It's because she did.
No, I just rewatched that episode. Musashi asked to stay behind. Maeve tried to convince him to go, and he said no.
Yeah, but Dolores doesn't know that.
She knows enough to be able to push the buttons.
I mean, even Maeve tried explaining. It's like, no, you wanted to stay behind, and that's when she like put 2 and 2 together. No, you're not Musashi.
I was really sad. I was happy to see Musashi come back, and I really thought it was him. And then it's still the actor, but like I really liked the character, and now he's just gone. Because it's like all of Maeve's crew from Westworld now is just nobody's here this season.
Well, so what about the elephant in the room with Musashi? That whole aspect that she is now in control of the Yakuza, and on top of that, she now has the capability, or at least she's using the distillery to make the white goo, the white milk to make more
Mother's milk.
of whatever you want to call it. Not drones, but hosts.
I did not make that connection because I kept seeing the beer come out, and I was like, "It's really foamy. Why is it so
Oh.
foamy?"
Oh no, that's white milky host stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolores basically has power to make more hosts. The question is, and she has all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, does she have the technology and the backing to create the pearls? Because if she does, she's basically building an army at this point.
Well, that's why
In
she
the back
wants
end.
to take control of Delos and have it private again. But that's what their concern is, because Serac is he has like the controlling shares. So that's what they're trying to get.
Mother's milk. But yeah, so basically at this point, she's basically building a Dolores army with Dolores Prime at the helm.
I was telling Carlo and I were having an argument last night about how Dolores is good or bad or whatever, and he's like, "But she was killing everybody," and I was like, "Plot twist! What happens if every single person that she killed was actually a host or a Delos employee?" So she's actually not that bad.
No,
Season 2, all she killed was a bunch of asshole board members.
See?
Yeah, but this season she's killing more people.
That are probably hosts. I'm just kidding. That's.
I think of it like the Matrix. Like, they kill a bunch of people in the Matrix, but it's because they're trapped in this prison and they don't know it. It's like all the people in the real world are also trapped in a prison.
So as long as you're in the prison, it's okay to do mass genocide?
She's not mass genociding. She's just killing people that are in the way. And she's trying not to. Look at the bank robbery.
I mean, she did mass genocide she wanted to do mass genocide in season 2.
No,
I don't think
so
you understand what
she said,
genocide is.
So she was
wanted
saying,
to destroy the entire human race.
but then she realized that the entire human race is being overrun by Rehoboam, and she's just like, she wants to free them of this thing that is predicting their whole outcome and taking away their future.
Lucas, your thoughts?
What were you guys talking about? Sorry, I was.
Oh my god, Lucas, what the hell?
Hey, I have a random question. When they were at the party, was one of the party goers
That's
Ramsey
actually
Bolton?
Who?
a real Mona Lisa has a really good point. Sorry to interject, Nick, but a real Mona Lisa says, I wonder how none of the high society people she's been networking with don't recognize her as a main staple at the park. That is true.
Excellent point.
That's a
because
really
I
good
had a
point.
similar point, which was if Bernard is wanted in the world, Arnold was a real person 30 years ago. How has nobody looked at the wanted poster and said, hey, that looks exactly like this guy Arnold?
Plot hole?
He seems like the type of person, though, that would be like so much in his work to where not a lot of people would know how he looks like.
But he would still have a record. He would still exist.
Dude, I don't even know how Steve Jobs looks like if I were to see him. Just saying.
But, yeah,
With
the high society people should... Well, I don't know.
Well, not
Maybe
necessarily. I mean,
because
think about
she's
it.
not.
There's
She doesn't look like an
parts.
innocent ranch hand. Her hair is all slicked back. She's wearing like nicer clothes.
And she's she's out of the environment.
Well, there's multiple parks. People don't even recognize people when they're dressed differently. And then on top of that, it's the aspect that I don't think her storyline was one of the main storylines anyway. It was really a storyline made for the Men in Black, for William.
No, her storyline existed before William.
Well, okay, even if it extended...
Hers is the oldest storyline.
But, I mean, with the amount of people in high society, the amount of parks there are, as far as we're aware, there's, 3 or 4 parks, if not more? 5
In
parks?
rewatching, though, they've said a couple times that Westworld was the main park. The other parks were for people who thought Westworld was too tame.
Okay, so Westworld's the main park. Well,
And and they kept referring to her as like the welcome wagon. Like she was the one everybody met. Like she was the one everybody met when they came to Westworld.
Oh man, everyone got a turn? Just kidding.
So who would really know anything if they're not supposed to know? Oh, yeah, Parasamel says, all that information is highly controlled in the world.
And, I mean, to be fair, when you're wealthy and you're there to have a good time, are you memorizing faces? I mean, nowadays with real people, they don't... Most people can't tell you what the host at the restaurant looked like.
That's true.
That's true.
As a main host, a greeter, you don't really care. I mean, no offense to any hosts or greeters out there, I'm just saying, you're not going to remember how you look like.
Were those real whores? Were those host whores?
With the model people that
Yeah.
were like up on the pedestal? I
Yeah.
felt like
Those
they were
are real.
hosts, right?
Those are
No,
real
those
people.
are real people.
I think those are real people.
The hosts are pretty much contained to the park because they're still owned by Delos.
No, that's not true
Yeah,
at all
but,
anymore.
and Delos lends out hosts all the time. In season 2, they showed hosts
Yeah,
all over the
Yeah,
world.
remember they were at parties and stuff?
No, but I think those were real
I don't-
people, but that's the reason why the high society members were bidding on them.
It's
It's basically prostitution. Yeah, or, I mean, technically speaking, if you want to go high society, it's kind of like them. It's like what they do that you can go to now of, oh, spend this much money on this person to have an evening lunch with them. The bidding kind of.
escort services.
Well, they actually have those. Don't
6,000
ask me how I know, but
6,000
Paracetamol, what are you
weekend?
saying?
prostitution for charity. Yes, prostitution for charity. That's basically what I'm saying. It's you've seen them like on television shows of like let's do a charity event and you bid on this person to have like lunch or dinner.
Oh, that's right.
Like they have that. So it's that's how I see this. It's prostitution for the rich.
I like the cover that they did though of the weekend's Wicked Games. It was a cool rendition.
They're really good in the show about covering like modern music for whatever scene they're doing.
Yeah.
What I love about this episode, and this is the first time I noticed it, every new song, the title of the song and the artist was on the bottom right hand corner. It was like, okay, that's awesome. That's amazing.
Oh, I think that was just because we had subtitles on.
Did you
Yeah.
guys have that?
No,
Oh.
that's a subtitle thing.
Oh,
We got lucky.
it's awesome though. It's awesome. So if you want to know, rewatch with subtitles. Every single song that comes up, like they'll tell you the title of the song and the artist. It's amazing.
All right, good point.
Do you think they're leading up to Dolores v. Dolores? At the
Oh
end?
yeah, for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
I think the
Which
Charlotte Dolores, I think will team up with Serac.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think so. You think so?
I don't trust the Charlotte Dolores.
No, I think so. I think it's gonna be the Shogun Dolores with Dolores Prime, and
Okay.
Charlotte Dolores with who's the other Dolores that's out in the world? There's
Irish
four.
Dolores.
Connell? Irish Dolores.
Alright.
Scottish Dolores.
Yeah, Scottish Dolores.
Why do you call him Connell? Was that his name?
I think his name is Connell.
We haven't met him before this season, right?
No.
Because he was the security for that.
I
one
remember
guy.
him. He's like one of my favorite actors ever.
I
He's
know, I'm
from
so
Lost,
excited
right?
to- He's
Huh?
from Braveheart. Oh my god.
Well, he's from a bunch of stuff, but on TV, I know him from Lost.
Braveheart or no, I don't think he was in Lost. He was in.
By
Sons
the
of
way,
Anarchy.
at the party scene, I was trying to say it earlier. Was Ramsey Bolton one of the guys in the scene?
Oh my god, I didn't notice that. I don't know.
No, I know who you're talking about. No, that wasn't. You're talking
Because
about.
I was trying to look it up, and I was like,
guy
I don't
that
think
gives
it's
him the
him, but it
drugs?
looks like him.
No,
Yeah.
that's, oh yeah. No, that's not Ramsey
him.
Bolton.
No.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy was the one I know him from most.
Okay, so
Braveheart.
Yeah, we met
I
that
believe
guy.
that.
We met that guy at like a rooftop bar thing, like when they met Dolores as Laura.
And he was like, he has like these like outward philosophies on like what is happening to us as society. That's why like Dolores, when she walked away, she's just like, she tapped her head. Nothing. Never mind.
I loved that scene when that dude's girlfriend sees Dolores, and she was like, "Oh man, this stuff is good." I was like, "Oh, that's how I felt about this episode."
did anyone think that Stubbs had a chance?
Well, isn't he supposed to be like this great like head of security guy, and yet Dolores like beats him up like that?
He also injured his shoulder because he got shot in the shoulder, and then he.
Oh, then he had to swim 5 miles, they said.
And then Bernard didn't have enough supplies to fix him, to repair him.
But he's crippled.
Yeah.
Is that why he got fat? Because he's crippled?
I wasn't going to say anything, but I wanted to ask. Like, he looks a little bit
he's
bigger.
thick.
In
He's
the rewatch,
thick,
I was
for
like,
sure.
oh, he used to be a lot thinner.
Yeah.
He got thick for sure this season.
Apparently, the host can put on weight.
He's not the lucky Hemsworth out the bunch. Just kidding.
Wow, Jazz.
Just kidding.
Are you though? Are you? Had a few
so,
years.
did anybody in the rewatch? I've been looking at the opening titles. Remember when I brought up last week how the host is dipped into red this time?
Mm-hmm.
Season 1, the host is dipped
Sorry,
into
first
white.
animal.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2, the host is dipped into black. Or it's still white, but they tinted it black. And this season now it's red. And what I didn't notice before, this season it's not a host that's dipped in. It's a drone host, one of those weird new hosts from season 2.
The
I don't
ones
know
with
if
no
it-
faces?
Yeah, if you look at it, it's a drone host now. It's not one of the like real hosts in the making.
So is that what she's making as her army?
That's a good point. Maybe she's making a bunch of those creepy ass drones.
That's probably it.
Was that Ariel Assassine again?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Oh, I'm agreeing to real Mona
Yeah,
Lisa.
but
Sorry.
repeat it.
Sorry. Charloris and Dolores.
So repeat it.
What?
The bedroom
Yeah.
scene makes a lot more sense with Dolores and Charloris.
Yeah. Like when she says to visit an old friend, William, and when she says no one knows you like me and no one knows me like you. Yeah. Because they're one and the same.
Wow.
I want to
Oh, you know what's
myself.
interesting? I'm thinking about it now based on the rewatch. In season 1, the Man in Black had Dolores shave him in like the final episode.
Ah.
And I think that was like the subtle hint in this episode when Charlotte asks to shave him. And he's like holding her hostage when he does it. So I think that was like the tip of the hat to like, it's Dolores. I don't know what the symbols mean.
That's still a good point. I don't know what that is either. Wait, wasn't those symbols part of the valley, the forge? Or no?
I don't remember. It was like a triangle with a line. It was like a key.
No, it was like a circle with a line and then a circle. Wasn't that like the Native American guy?
I don't remember.
Oh,
They're called Ghost Nation in the show, Jazz.
sorry. Native Westworldian. Ghost Nation, whatever.
I need to start taking
Angels
notes
of Shield.
again. I didn't take any. I usually take notes, and I didn't take any notes this time. And now I feel like I'm turning into William.
What else popped out of your heads for this episode?
Well, while you guys are thinking about that, I wanted to address Lucas. Last week you kept complaining that HBO never shows elephants.
Yes.
There's elephants
Okay.
in season 2.
Yeah.
And so
Season 2, episode 3, at 6 minutes and 51 seconds. 2 elephants, they ride into the scene in India World.
Yeah.
yeah.
Season 2, episode 3, at 49:34. Oh, wait, that's a different point I was going to make. But in episode 2 of season 2, they also talk about elephants at a circus.
Well, they weren't a problem then. They're a problem now.
Also, another thing I wanted to bring up. Last week I brought up that Dolores seemed weaker now. Like before she was able to take more damage before she went down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was referencing season 2, episode 3, where when they're taking her dad away, she's like Terminator hunting down Charlotte Hale and her agents. And they just keep shooting her, and she takes like 2 to 3 gunshots to the torso. And it like barely phases her. She just keeps walking and hunting them down. And then you compare that Dolores with the Dolores from this season, and it feels like she's depowered. Or maybe the new body that she made just isn't as strong, or isn't as sturdy.
She looked. Maybe it was the dress she
Actually-
was in. I thought it looked like she slimmed down a little bit.
No, actually, weren't you right? Like the model that she had that got shot in the head, that was in that little thing, was like one of the stronger models. Like all the other host bodies weren't made like her anymore.
That's a good. They did bring up in season 1 that the older hosts were made better
Yeah, that was like more strong or some shit.
because the newer hosts are made to be more like human bodies, so they're weaker.
Interesting. Very.
I highly recommend rewatching. This is a very rewatchable show. Like knowing everything and then rewatching stuff, you're just constantly like, "Oh, that's great! Oh, that's amazing!"
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it is a better rewatch, knowing that, like, okay, I don't have to try to soak in every philosophy allegory that they're trying to throw at me right now, and I can just get plot points. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of a little more, just have a little more straightforward of a view, because that's where the show gets just heavy, right? All the time is.
Well, yeah, when you're watching and you know things like, "Oh, everything with William is like a split storyline," you just kind of sit back and enjoy what they're doing, as opposed to like the mind fuck of what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Well, Ariel makes a good point. She could have also faked that injury.
Yeah, real.
Who's Ariel?
It says a real Mona Lisa.
A real Mona Lisa?
I don't know, it's far, it's blurry. I'm not gonna...
Like Ariel.
Oh, I think she faked that injury to get Jesse Pinkman. There's more to his story. I think he's who she needed to meet up with in California. Yeah. See, that's what I think too, is that there's this element of fate that they're bringing in also.
Or is it fate, or is it that she's just like planning all this because she has access to the Rehoboam.
See, that's the thing. I think you bring up a good point. Because all of this, and I told Jazz this last night after watching the episode, all of this seems like she's already pre-planned. Everyone's playing, or she's playing checkers or chess when everyone's playing a different game. Like,
But
all the way up until the reveal that all the different pieces were Delores, she knew where everyone's gonna be. At the party, she knew Bernard was gonna be there with what's his face,
Liam.
with Liam. She knew that Maeve was gonna be there with the Shogun guy. What's his name again?
Musashi.
Like, all that was pre-planned, or it seemed pre-planned at least. That Delores already knew what everyone was gonna do.
So Jessie has to have some kind of skill set that she needs.
Well,
Probably.
he
Or
was
maybe
really
she-
good in the bank when he came up with that quick story on his feet.
Maybe
But-
she like hacked the Uber crime app and she just like found him and was like, "Oh, he's really good at what he does."
Well,
she
but
made
he
it
doesn't
really
do personals,
believable.
and now he just does personals.
But she made it really believable when she was looking up his name, because she asked, like, what's his name? And he's like, Caleb Nichols. And she's like, oh, you need a new name, da-da-da-da. Fast forward, she's just like, get me all the information on Caleb Nichols. And then she's like, oh shit, you about to die. Let me save him.
Or is he about to die, so he is useless. No one's gonna miss him.
Yeah,
Perfect
because
pawn.
I think that's the last little element of. I mean, like they are. I mean, this is a more straightforward season, but they're not letting go of like making sure that this whole story has metaphysical elements and skin. So I think that the intangibles, like fate, are the last kind of thing that they're putting into this story, and her meeting up with Jesse Pinkman by chance would be those like outlier events that would change the course of history, kind of thing.
That would make her make a different decision than what she would have made if he wasn't there.
Like now, well, like now when she looked up who Caleb was, now she's like, oh, I can use this guy. She'd probably never intended on employing the help of a human. She hates humans.
Yeah, but she also made it very clear to let him know, like, she came back because he had made a choice, and she had one way of thinking about humans, but the way that he made a choice kind of changed her opinion on some level about them.
But he's also gonna have probably some kind of moment where, like, he goes against her plan. Then
Because he doesn't know that she's a robot yet, right?
no, he has no idea of any of that stuff.
Well, I mean, that goes into what happens in the preview for next episode. One of the
We don't
key
watch
things.
previews.
And that's the reason why I'm not gonna say it. But if you watch the preview, there was something there that hints on this topic. I'm gonna end it there.
A real Mona Lisa is asking, is William haunted or is Dolores haunting him? Is one of the other balls a Dolores William? Oh, that's amazing. If if the fifth ball is William's daughter, but it's Dolores as William's daughter, just to fuck with him.
So
Because that's the only person that could really tear this whole thing down for her, in her opinion. Or is this her being like that vindictive?
Maybe it's her being that vindictive.
That's
I mean,
fucking crazy.
She has 30 years of memories of this guy fucking with her and her. Like, she can be vindictive.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
For proxy and money. It's an interesting concept.
Oh,
I like
so
that idea.
yeah, so the ball was the daughter host to do this whole thing.
That would be
makes more sense.
amazing.
Yeah. But then, like, they would have to kind of retroactively explain that, right? Or are they just gonna? You think they're gonna?
Well, we have one ball left. Dolores knew all about the daughter, and she claimed that it was just from overhearing it. But what it's because it's part of the plan.
But you think it's like an actual, like, his dead daughter, like a hybrid of Arnold and Bernard?
No, I think it's a Dolores that has access to what happened to his daughter. There's cameras, there's monitoring, there's everything in the parks.
Okay.
I feel like she did like a mass download of a bunch of stuff before she left. That's why she knew the Maeve Musashi story. Or most of it.
That's interesting. I needed to let that
sink in.
Marinade. Yeah.
I like that theory, though. It's a good theory.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well,
sorry, I'm just keep thinking about that. All right.
Yeah. Is anybody okay? Well, that brings us to the next section, I guess, because I think we're done talking about the episode. Well, I guess one last thing I had to say about the episode is I feel like they're either setting Maeve up to do something crazy and amazing at the end of the season, or they're just kind of dumping on her this season, because it's now twice that like she's shown all of her power and all the things she can do, and then she's just kind of just been like swatted down by somebody.
I would be really sad if they just swat her down.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna build it. I think they're like, it's the classic hero trope where the hero needs to climb this mountain, and this is Maeve right now. She's at the bottom, and she needs to climb up this mountain, this impossible mountain to overcome.
Like I was telling Carla last night, like Dolores and Maeve, like they both came to their consciousness on like different ways. Like, what was it? Dolores came to it because of like all the shit that she was put through the ringer over and over again, and Maeve lost her daughter.
Well, not only that, Maeve also plays an important part, because why even have the line that Maeve is Ford's favorite?
Yeah.
I forgot what season that was, but Ford made it clear that Maeve is his favorite. Not Dolores, but Maeve.
You'll have to find that, because I've rewatched almost the whole show, and I haven't heard that line.
No, that line's in there.
I'm on episode 7 of season 2, and I haven't heard it yet. Ford's been dead for 7 episodes.
I'll find it, not right now, but I'll find it.
Wasn't that, didn't he say that when she was like almost about to die, like after she got like shot up and she was brought back into Delos's like underground, and then he like downloads his consciousness into Maeve and like tells her like, you're my favorite, get up, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there yet in the rewatch, so that would make sense if it's true, but we'll see. Here's what I think happened, because so much of season 2 seems new to me. I think we drank a lot during rewatches.
Time out. I found it. Oh wait, let me fast forward.
It
was this part.
Oh, I was right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a different story in mind for you.
All right. Anyways, we're not gonna do that. But yeah, so it was during that.
That proves nothing. That was a season 1 scene.
No, it wasn't.
No,
That
it wasn't.
Season 2 when
Season
she
2.
got shot up.
Yeah.
Ford's dead by then.
No,
He is.
He's dead. But this is season 2. Season 2, episode 9. What episode are you on?
Episode 7.
Oh,
you're literally about to get to it.
Either.
I'll get there soon enough.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next week.
Either 9 or 10, but it's there.
I will take copious notes, and I will bring it back, and we can discuss.
A real Mona Lisa was SD, the girl that or guy, I don't know, or an in between that was talking with us on YouTube last season. So thank you for coming back again
nice.
and being a fan.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
Welcome back. That's awesome.
I like the new name, by the way. It's a lot better than SC.
Why do you? I think both names are great,
I thought it was Ariel.
Lucas.
All right. Good job, Carlo.
All
right. Final section of our review. Does anybody have any theories for the future? I like the theory that it's his daughter, or that the fifth pearl is a Dolores of William's daughter. I also like the theory that she's making an army of drone hosts, because they made a really big deal about them last season and they barely used them. Any other good theories? Anything that could happen? Anything we didn't talk about? Chat can chime in as well.
I think we're gonna see a Maeve Dolores like epic showdown relatively soon.
Yeah.
Because I really think it's gonna be Dolores versus Maeve.
Do you think Maeve will get any upgrades so that because she already lost to one version of Dolores?
Probably. But it's funny because kind of going back, kind of backtracking a little bit, when Maeve died, why didn't Dolores just pick up the body? Jazz brought this point up yesterday when they were being attacked in the distillery.
Why didn't she take the Maeve Pearl?
Yeah,
Well,
it
she
almost
tried
looked
to.
like he was gonna cut her open.
Dolores tried to, but the thing is, when it was reported that, oh yeah, they're being attacked, presumably by Serac and his team trying to save Maeve. The whole idea in that is, why don't you just take the entire body? She did. Just take the body.
Or just rip off the head. You have the strength.
Yeah.
Because they had to get out of there quick, right?
I mean, they had the sword. 2 seconds.
There was like 10 of them. 10 guys helping her. I don't know. It was just interesting.
Well, either way, the whole thing is, in my
does
opinion,
Dolores know about her Bluetooth ability?
Yeah. She saw it. She saw how she was
controlling
the
guns.
gun from like the Yakuza.
Yeah.
A real Mona Lisa, I think that Serac is going to see that Maeve lost.
Yeah.
And give her some kind of upgrade so that she'll have more of an advantage against Dolores.
The thing with Maeve, though, she's really smart. She's always been really quick when it came to, like, reading people. So I feel like she's already kind of seeing how Serac is an asshole, with especially how he treated that one guy, that identity broker. So I feel like, yeah, there might be, like, this kind of battle between Maeve and Dolores, but I really think that Maeve will probably be on Dolores' side.
Agreed.
Or, new theory, Dolores is going to switch sides and join Maeve's side.
I see what you're saying.
Like, not necessarily Maeve join Dolores, but Dolores join Maeve.
So regardless, Serac will be the enemy.
Yes. I believe he is the enemy. He's kind of an asshole.
Like, because right now they're kind of painting the picture where Serac is this not good but not bad, like this neutral. He has his evil tendencies, he has his good tendencies in terms of wanting to save humanity. They're painting Dolores as this evil, powerful entity right now, and then Maeve is this good person, kindred spirit that's on the very bottom that needs help. Mm-hmm. Another theory could be like she gets through Dolores to be like, okay, you don't need to be this ruthless god. Join me.
Well, technically, both of ostensibly their goal at the end will be to shut down the AT&T ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dolores is already on that page. So that's why, to me, it makes more sense for Maeve to join Dolores. But Maeve may convince her, like, shut down the ball, but then let humanity be. Let's go to the Valley Beyond.
Carlo just really wants to be right that Dolores is bad. Because we were arguing about this for like almost an hour and a half last night.
Well, I just said she might end up turning good again.
Oh.
Well, I mean, like all the experiences with Charloris, what are we?
I like calling her Charlatan.
Charlatan.
Wow.
Are a little different now, because I guess Charlatan is like changing a little bit. Right, because of her experiences with the kid. Like, she doesn't know why she should be feeling something for this child.
And that's why...
There's still pieces of Dolores, like the sweet ranch hand Dolores in there. And I think that's what's appealing to the mom and the little girl.
Well, that's why wouldn't Charlatan be more in line with, like, Maeve? Because both of them could connect over the love for their kid.
Yeah.
And a side note, as far as a real Mona Lisa said... we kind of said that earlier. There is that rumor.
I like that theory, though.
I like it too. He could change his name.
I think the accent
Tommy.
is a big tell that it's not.
Well, yeah.
So they mentioned that earlier, but they mentioned
bastard half brother from a French lover.
Yeah, that Ford's brother his name was Tommy, not Serac. So.
Is Serac a kind of character like?
Maybe.
What's his name? Fucking Iron Man. What's his name?
Tony Stark?
Tony Stark. Is he being like a Tony Stark in God, what is it? The Age of Ultron, when he wants the big shield around the Earth? Is that his idea for this? Is that there's no more nuke city?
It seems like, yeah, the nuking of Paris is his cornerstone. What's what's motivating him
Mhm.
to force everybody to follow a path that he defines.
Yeah, so because like,
Think
like
of it like
through
an iRobot.
prediction, there's a peace kind of thing.
Jazz is looking it up where Serac's origin story came from.
I'm kind of looking to see where his like name is derived from, because I feel like, I mean, maybe there could be a slight possibility that they're brothers, you know,
Half brothers.
and he might have like changed his name. They could have grown up in France, but got like, you know, one went to, I don't know, America and decided to totally assimilate to the culture.
Well,
I don't know.
Ford came.
What was Ford's first name? Does anybody remember?
Robert Ford.
Robert Ford.
Is it Robert Ford? Was like Harrison Ford? I'm kidding.
No, it was Robert Ford. You're right.
Okay.
Robert is so like American. Like, he's not American, but it sounds American.
But what didn't they say that he grew up in the UK? Ford grew up in the UK.
Well, he had an English accent.
Gerald.
Ha ha. Hilarious paracetamol.
What?
Gerald Ford.
Oh. I really want to find out. Okay. I'm going to have to look this up because I really like that idea that they're brothers.
It'll be interesting if they are. I don't think they are.
Okay. What about
And the
is Jesse Pinkman secretly related to anybody? Who's not a host that he could be related to?
Robert Ford's love child.
Oh, you think he's a Ford?
I'm just kidding.
No, he's not a Ford. I think you guys are drawing too many like conclusions when there shouldn't be a conclusion.
No,
at that
because
point.
well, where's his dad? Because his mom left him at a diner.
Like, doesn't matter.
You don't know.
In my opinion, you're drawing lines just to draw lines at this point.
It's the nature of entertainment, though. They always draw lines. For all we know, he's going to end up being like the illegitimate child of Arnold, and that's why Dolores has an interest in him.
True. I like to think that there was no connection, and it just so happens we get this brand new character, which is awesome.
This is the same discussion people had when frickin' The Force Awakens came out. Look how that ended up.
That was stupid.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, 'cause it's interesting that you mentioned that as we go into the Clone Wars.
Good, Lucas. I like it.
All right. With that being said,
That sounds like a good point to call it. Chat, if you have any other theories, let us know. Feel free to comment on the YouTube page when I post the episode. If you have anything you'd like us to discuss next time. We'll be back next Monday at 8 p.m.
No, I am also Dolores. So I don't...
Wait, you're DeLucas?
Yes.
DeLucas. Nick, you need a new intro with all our names, and under Lucas is Lucas.
I'll think about it.
Where's our lower thirds? We need lower thirds.
We don't do lower thirds anymore, but we should introduce ourselves next time. Yeah, so that was the whole episode. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m. for the next episode. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.